Hey there, so for this video we're talking about quality control, specifically quality control when it comes to PFTs, so volume control requirements, quality control tests, and calibration. So I'll just be briefly going over this. This is something that I'm not that familiar with, to be honest. It's just based off of what I've learned thus far. I'm going to share it with you, so stay tuned. Okay, so what are volume control requirements? Well, precision and accuracy are key to obtaining reliable test data. Quality assurance programs should be implemented to ensure that minimal ATS and ERS standards are met. A supervising respiratory therapist is responsible for maintaining a log of staff competency, equipment performance, policies, and procedures and reporting guidelines, and then life alerting medical decisions are made on the basis of PFT data, and it is the responsibility of the respiratory therapist to ensure reliable results. So what does all this mean? Basically, it is the responsibility of the respiratory therapist and the respiratory therapist supervisor to ensure that tests and policies and protocols are running smoothly and efficiently, and that they are following all accordances with the standards that are put before them. Okay, so one key thing that has to be done is calibration. So when I got to go to clinical PFT, when I got to go to clinical where they did PFTs, calibration was really important. They kind of emphasized that they have to do calibration on a daily basis, and if the machine is not calibrated right prior to them starting the day, then they cannot perform the PFT test because they will not be accurate. So this kind of just breaks down if they're not working properly, what it might mean. So if 3 liters is injected into this barometer, the measured volume should equal 3 liters. It's kind of like this long thing that you push and then pull back. It's a pretty cool little thing or it's not that little, but it's a pretty cool tool that they use to calibrate. So if it is less than 3 liters, then that indicates a leak. If it's greater than 3 liters, then that would indicate some other problem, like a bent bell, a leak in the system, or I can't say this word really, but a potentiometer. The severity of the 3 liters kind of shows if, depending on if it's less or greater, kind of shows what the issue might be, and then it can kind of go from there, the respiratory therapist, and troubleshoot. Okay, so this next slide is just kind of looking at what are some of the quality control tests that are done on a regular basis. Well, it talks about volume, that is a daily test, where a calibration check is done with a 3-liter syringe. We talk about a leak, that is also a daily test. So we have to see about 3 centimeters of water, constant pressure for 1 minute, to determine if there's a leak. And then we have volume linearity, which is a quarterly check, and that is 1 liter increments with a calibrating syringe. A flow linearity, that's a weekly test, where we test at least 3 different flow ranges. There's a time test, which is a quarterly test. It's a mechanical recorder with a stopwatch. And then we got a software test, which is logging installation date and perform tests using known subject. So all of these tests are required and extremely important, and without them, we cannot have proper PFT data. So that's important to remember. Lastly, I just want to leave you with a joke. The joke of the day is, why does the skeleton not fight back? The skeleton doesn't fight back because he doesn't have the guts or the breath.